It's a great day in SimWorld, everybody. Good morning and welcome to SimWorld Today. I'm B-Ron. Alongside me is my co-host Yells. Good morning, man. Happy Wednesday. How you doing? Good to see you.
I'm doing great, man. Good to be here with you yet again on another beautiful SimWorld day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we had some great games last night. And
Oh,
of course, we're
yes.
gonna go through as always. So let's go ahead. Let's jump right into some Cooper Flag talk to lead the show off. And he had a really great game last night against Rocky Mountain. The hop step here, you see it. You see it getting active immediately against Rocky Mountain.
We had a
And
monster night.
yep, and here's Daquan McDougal picking up the loose ball and getting points of his own. Rocky Mountain hung around. They tried,
They
but
tried.
it wasn't enough, and we're gonna see a 3-pointer in the corner. Not going McDougal there on the glass though, able to get the putback dunk to go. And here's
8.7 boards, but it was all Cooper Flag though, B Ron.
yep, all Cooper Flag. They got the big win over Rocky Mountain last night. Like I said, wasn't even a close contest. 57 was the final score in that one, and boy, yeah. The recap says originally the OG looked spooky in this game. They sure did.
They did.
Real spooky.
They look, Cooper Flag, 30 points, 11 boards, 4 assists,
Hmm.
5 blocks. Cooper Flag was the real deal that we continue to say that he is. But the
Yep.
difference in today's game, or last night's game, excuse me, it was the others. Shaq talks about the others and all of that. The others stepped up. Chris Coates, 11 minutes, 13 points, four
Yep.
assists, going to the rack ferociously.
Hmm.
Justin McGavin finally showed up, only 10 points, but again, we talk about timely buckets and doing what your role is. He's a shooter. That's what he did, 2 of 3 from deep. He knocked it down. Jay Laster got some timely buckets. Caleb Boateng went to the rack and did his thing. The others looked excellent in this game. And on the other side of that, B-Ron, the others, outside of Dink Payton, Justin Bell, for Rocky Mountain just got outplayed. And sometimes it's just not your night. I know we have some other games to talk about today. Then they kind of
Yeah.
fall. They kind of fall. Followed suit. Sometimes it's hard enough to beat a team of equal caliber. It's even harder to
Right.
beat a team when the talent level and the size is on a whole nother level. Like those are just tough matchups in any
Yeah.
sport, in any level, in any sport. Size matters, folks. Size does matter. And then lastly, if you're not hitting your shots while another team is hitting their shots, we could talk execution and heart and effort all you want. It is a game of making shots. So 5 of 9 from deep from the originators, not a whole bunch of threes, but they
Yeah.
also shot 55%. You go on the other side of that, Rocky Mountain shot under 40% for the game, only 23% from deep. It's a tough matchup. And then on top of all of
Incredibly tough.
that, Cooper Flag.
Yeah, of course, of course. And look, I know it's early in the season, blah blah blah, but I do think we have to talk about. Ooh, we have to talk about, and we have to ask ourselves. We got to play a little factor fiction here, yells at this morning. This
Let's
morning,
do it.
yeah, factor fiction. Cooper Flag is the Cooper Flag will go down as the best SimWorld prep prospect of all time. Fact or fiction? I know that's like a wild statement, but like I'm here for it this morning, and I'm gonna say fact on that one. I don't think there's gonna be any doubt in my mind that once it's all said and done, uh, throughout SimWorld Prep's lofty history that's gonna come afterwards, I don't think there'll be any question in my mind that Cooper Flag will go down as the best SimWorld Prep prospect that we've had, that we're going to have. Better than Cooper Kingy Cross, even though his points record is gonna be what it is. But Cooper Flag, combine skill set combined, best one of all time that we'll see in Smo Prep. So for me, it's a fact.
You said of all time. So
Yes.
thus far, yes. All time implies that and you said it, that we will ever see. No, I'm not gonna say that. There's no way. There's no way I'm gonna say that. Can I say that it's a fair argument to make that it's possible? Yeah. Am I gonna definitively say I like to fancy myself somewhat of a psychic? But I'm not psychic. I don't know what's coming. I have no idea. There may be a kid that these kids just get bigger and bigger as as time goes on. The human evolution continues. We may see a kid that's 7'6", 15 years old that play. No, I don't know, man. I can't do it. It's too early. It's too early for this, B-Ron. It's too early. If the question is
And
fact
I'm
or
the one
fiction,
making outlandish things. That's crazy.
yeah. If the
That's
question
crazy.
is he the best SimWorld prep prospect we've ever seen? Hands down, the answer is yes. Anybody that wants to go argue Bronny James, or if they want to argue Cooper Flag, cool. Do what you need to do. 6 games into this season, yes, he's looking like it. If he plays the way he's played, 6 games consecutively throughout the season, yes. So everyone come in and bring in the argument. It's only been 6. We got to see. First, it was he's got to come play here first. We don't know. And then it was, oh, well, the competition that he's played again hasn't been great. Then it was, oh, it's only been 1 game. And now it's going to be, we have to see what he's going to do all season. Anybody's playing that game, go ahead and play yourself, because that's the only thing that's going on.
You know what that's called, yo?
Well, it's called
That's
playing
called
yourself.
moving. That's called moving the goalpost, man.
Moving the goalpost.
Moving the goalpost.
I call it
do
playing
that.
yourself. That's what I call it. I'm going to stick to it. Move the goalpost all you want. He's great.
Yeah.
But to say that he's going to be, I can't say. I will never say ever what's going to be. So, yeah, I mean, I've seen too much in the world change here just in 3 years. So, no, I can't say it.
Fair enough. All right. It's weird that I'm the one making the outlandish statements, but that's fine with me. That's
Hey,
cool with me.
y'all get him.
I'm okay with it.
Y'all get him
I'm
on
okay with it.
Discord. B-Ron's out here doing his version of Rick's Blazing Takes this morning.
Yeah.
Jeez.
People say they want violence and that kind of stuff, so sometimes I gotta give it to them a little bit.
I
So
think you may have gave the
here's
drama.
some,
I think the fans out there are gonna bring the violence. B-Ron.
That's fine. One way or the other is going. Look, what's the result of my comments? So that's fine with me. Let's keep moving, though. Man, look, Gulf Coast is playing real well, and they had another great game last night. Let's go over that one real quick too. It was a really good one. It really was. I'm sorry. We got Aiko Kasai there at the 3-pointer, and really played against Florida Atlantis. Keontae Smith there getting the great pass from Zilberman, hitting the dunk there, and Ty Killen.
That's a pro move right there.
Phenomenal pro level move there as Gulf Coast gets another win on their record this season. 74-63, they go to 5-1, beating Super Atlantis, who go to 4-3 on the season.
Yeah.
Great game from Gulf Coast, and look, we gotta start talking about the fact that potentially are we sleeping on Gulf Coast? Because they're not talked about as much as the OGs, as Cascadia or the Bay Area Breakers, for example. And again, this last one puts them at 5-1, and they're in first place now in the Southern region. They are, nobody's tied with them or anything. They have the sole possession of first place right now in Southern region. So are we sleeping on Gulf Coast?
Yeah, I'm not sleeping on them. I think we said a little bit last week about just how good they are. I don't think anyone's sleeping.
And to clarify, by we, I don't mean us.
Yeah, for sure.
Literally us
for sure.
too. You know what I mean?
For sure. But that's the thing people got to remember, kids. Look, you got SimWorld U, you got SWBA, we got football. There's so many things to talk about. In a news cycle, how do we get to everybody? You can't get to everybody every day. So, let's keep that in mind. But Gulf Coast, bringing it back to the point, Kai Killen's 21 points last night. Carson Cutbirth, another 7 assists, 6 assists. The guy can pass the ball. Yeah. A great night for them all around, and they're just a solid all around team. Look, I gave Coach Heesh some. I think I gave him some blues early on. He gave himself some blues with all the stuff he came in and talked very early on. And then his team became very vocal, which I like it now. I want to hear more from him. I don't hear enough.
Yeah.
We all hear from Kai Killings. Where the hell is everybody else? I want to hear from you guys because y'all are getting it done. Now it's time to talk. Now it's time to do a little bit of talking.
Yeah.
You've backed up what you've had to say, and now you're getting all quiet. Now I just want to show it on the court. That's not how you started. So let's hear it. Let's hear the smoke because you're getting it done. But my point is, I kind of gave Coach Heesh a hard time early on. And I hear ownership had the same feelings. I was like, man, what is this? The Gulf Coast of Texas? Like almost everybody's on the teams from Texas, and we know that Texans love Louisianians from New Orleans, but it's not always the other way around over there in that Quarter Sports Arena. They need to get some funding over there in that building, by the way. But
look, if they keep playing like they are, there's no doubt in my mind that they'll have some extra funds coming their way, and be able to upgrade some facilities, that kind of stuff.
A lot of character in that building. They can find another venue. Come on, 5-1. 5-1 will get you there. You know what I'm saying? But they're balanced. They're such a balanced team. You got players that can score from the mid range like Kai Killings. You got guys who can shoot it from deep like Carson and Ako Kasai. You got rebounders Deontay and Ezekiel Bull, and they're protecting the rim. You got Big Pooley Horse down there if you need to push someone around. Avery Cooks can go get a bucket. Lane O'Neal will put it on your head. So will Milo Lego. Oh, that's a good name. So I mean, you have guys that are attacking the rack. They're a balanced squad. Again, what we talked about very early on in this season was the better teams that you'll find, they have an identity. They're playing phenomenal defense, and their scheme. They have great balance. And when I look at this team, let me pull my notes up, sir. Make sure I'm accurate when I say this. They are in the top 10 in opponents' points per game. And they are forcing turnovers. So you look at originators, Heartland Zombie Stars, SimWorld Europe, Cascadia, and Gulf Coast. They're all doing the same things in terms of having balanced offense and one hell of a defense. They're the real deal to me. I'm not sleeping. Some people may be. I'm not.
Yeah, no, I'm not either. I think we had a similar talk about SimWorld Europe a few weeks ago, and they're 5-1 too, and people were saying, keep sleeping on some of the players. Ty Murcas is very vocal about it. Keep sleeping, that kind of thing. I'm not sleeping on y'all. Same thing goes for Gulf Coast. I'm not sleeping on y'all either. I'm well aware of what y'all are doing, and y'all doing real good right now. Keep it up. Now you can talk your talk. You've backed it up so far. As long as you're backing up your talk, you can go ahead. Yeah, please.
Look.
We want that.
Look, not off topic. One of my metaphors. We always want the nice, shiny thing. That's how humans work, and guys particularly, right? We sit here and look at the basketball, we look at football, we look at our sports, and we want the highlight. We talked about this the other day too. You want to see the pretty step back. Who's got all the pretty moves? And he broke that boy's ankle, sauced him, all of that stuff, right? Gulf Coast, you're not seeing a whole lot of, oh my God, look at this highlight. SimWorld Europe, Heartland Zombie Stars, you're just seeing wins is what you're seeing. And it's the analogy goes, hey man, you can be out there chasing that nice, pretty, fine woman, but you get you the one that helps you build something real. That's a lot better. That's the win. Y'all looking for the highlights? Cool, but we're seeing the substance winning right now. Gulf Coast has a lot of substance.
They are eating a lot of W's down there in Gulf Coast, and I appreciate that, and I'm sure Jameis Winston would too. Let's move it on. Had to get my little New Orleans Saints reference in there for y'all this morning. But look, Queen City though, they had a game last night against Middle Eastern. Boy, oh boy, they started off real good. And here, look, how is Middle East though? Morbaskis doing his thing, getting some time
Not
in
enough.
there, and not enough though. But Nick Hugo catching a lob from Marco Jacobs. It was a phenomenal game, and here is
Dara Storm.
That is Dara Storm. Yeah, got himself some points too. But
there's a story.
Queen City though got themselves a win in a game that they should have won. So they did what they were supposed to do. They were on a losing streak, snapped it against a poor team in Summer Middle East. Got to call like it is. But But for me, the question is, how much stock should we really put into this team going forward because they won a game against SimWorld Middle East? Again, they are a talented team on paper, haven't come out the gates firing like many people expected them to due to their roster construction and that kind of thing. And to be, I always say that there are teams you're supposed to beat. You should beat those teams, and that's great. But what really separates you from those higher tier teams, puts you in a different conversation, is winning those games against those more difficult teams, those Rocky Mountains, those OGs, those Beasts of the East, Gulf Coast, that kind of thing. You have to beat those teams to really make a difference. So for me, this doesn't really do a whole lot for me. Even though they won the game, that's cool. I'm glad you did, but you got to string more of them together, and you got to get more stronger wins, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So, a win is a win, I guess, but what's your thoughts?
I mean, Middle East, yeah, they're punching down on that one. They picked up the win good. That's gonna be good for chemistry. That's gonna be good for confidence. So they did what they had to do. What I saw in this one, for me personally, was I saw Nick Hugo more involved, 15 points. He was moving on the pick and roll, which is good. Sky Durant was not absolute trash. He shot some of the worst percentages so far this season I've seen in my life. The team made shots last night, and I think that's what mattered. I talked a lot about their inability to shoot. Marco Jacobs, he toned down his shooting. He only took 12 shot attempts, 7 of them from deep. He knocked down 5 of them. Shooting cures a lot. He was the bulk of their perimeter shooting, at least from deep, last night, and he made it count. On the other end of that, kind of the same story. Middle East was only able to hit 1 of 10 from deep. So Middle East had their own struggles. Shout out Dar Storm though, doing his thing. Hussein Al Noor, 10 points, 8 rebounds, almost on the double path. But the ball was moving. The ball was moving for Queen City. Marco Jacobs doing what he's been doing. He's been the surprise player of the year. I think he's an early nominee for Rick Blaze's DJ Childs Award, right? But Nick Hugo had it going. Sky Durant hit his shots. DeMontre Johnson knocked down a 3 or 2, I believe. The funny thing in this matchup, though, who we did not see a whole lot of, and I don't want to say it's because we didn't see him. We only saw 16 minutes from Renzo Bryant.
Yeah, we only saw 11 from his brother, and they put up about the same stats comparatively. Both had 4 points. Renzo had 2 more rebounds. They each had an assist apiece. They played comparable minutes and had a comparable stat as a result. But yeah, you're right. I don't know, man.
Don't know what that means. Coach Skinny's clearly tinkering with his rotations there, figuring out what. I think he has another couple of games to figure it out. That South Division, Southern region is tough. I think Gulf Coast is already running away with the division. I know it's very early. Indy Stripes are right there. But the rest of it, they're beating up on each other. AT Aliens, Lone Star, Southeast, H-Town, Queen City. I think they have some time to figure it out in the seeding from race to 1. So I think he has a couple more games to figure out what he wants to do rotation wise. But to answer the question,
according to everybody else, 10 games. That's it.
Yeah, 10 games. Well, we'll see. They did what they were supposed to do. I don't want to take anything away from them, but yeah, they were punching down. That's a game they're supposed to win. They won it.
Yep. Well, look. Let's get to our biggest one of the night, though. Save the best for last.
I was wondering. I hope it's what I think it is.
Even the best for last, man. Jafet Towns had an absolutely monster game against Beast of the East. Let's go into it real quick. Man, this was insane. He had a phenomenal game. The kid put up 39 points in 29 minutes. And I believe that does set the record for most points this season in a game, which is insane.
It's insane.
It comes very close to most points in a game. That actually ties him with Che King and DeMario Duval. Yeah, taking DeMar Duvall for most points in a game.
Yeah. Uh, B-Ron, he just went off. That's all there is
Yeah,
to it. He went
yeah,
off. He went crazy. He the thing is, I've likened him. My player comp for him has been that he reminds me a lot of Brandon Roy. The way
hmm
he gets to the basket and gets his buckets, it looks like he's moving in slow motion. It looks effortless. He makes the defender look like they're not playing defense because of how easily he gets to the rack.
yeah,
But his jumper is butter from anywhere on the court. He doesn't jump much on it. I don't know if I want to call it a jumper, but his jumper is rock solid. And he put it on it. Beast of the East is a very good defensive team. So let's talk about who he was
yeah.
playing against. They
Right,
were
right.
going
For
up
him to
against
score 39 against Beast of the East is crazy. This isn't some, lowly, Bishop Sycamore level, defense that they're
Bishop
playing up against.
Sycamore.
This is a competent, strong defensive team.
Yeah,
If he did this against, them or Philadelphia, for example, great performances because, that's tough to do against those kind of defensive teams. Impressive no matter how you slice it. But like you said, y'all, Japan Town makes it look so easy at all levels. He can do it anywhere on the floor, and that's what makes him so dangerous.
yeah,
For opposing teams to game plan against him. It's almost like a Cooper Flag scenario where you have to try to limit everyone else
it
around
is.
him because you can outscore one person. You can outscore one person as a team, but you can't outscore. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's harder to do it against a whole team that's playing competently. But if Jafet scores 39 and you still win the game on the opposing side,
you live with that.
fine. Yeah, you live with that because that's what you're supposed to do.
Look, BC East did their thing. Levin Cutler, 20 points. Tyree Moy got it in. They did what they needed to do, but you saw Isaiah James, you saw Kyrie Brown, you saw Leonidas Wright have time against Jafet Towns, and he put them all in the ringer. He broke them down as well. 39 buckets, 17 of 26 shooting.
Mhm.
He knocked it down from deep. He scored 39 points without shooting a single free throw. He didn't go to the free throw line once, and that's what he
Wow.
did.
Yeah,
Like, we got to put
that's
some
impressive.
stuff in perspective, and this is on the heels of Cooper Flag putting up, what was it, 34
30.
or 30, 36 last night. That game
He put
finished
up
up, and
30 last night.
yeah, and then Jafet Towns came out and said, "Watch this."
Yeah.
Just wow. But hey, Rain and Trays are only sitting at 2-5 right now. They're gonna have to put some more W's in the win column. I know a couple of people that are gonna, unless Jafet Towns can bring his squad to a higher record than OG's. At the end of the season, I know a few people out there that will try their hardest not to put him in the Player of the Year conversation. If
Yeah.
that team can put together some wins, there may be an actual argument for who is the Player of the Year at the end of this season.
If you're not the best player, if you're not the best player on the best team, you're not winning Player of the Year, no matter how good your stats are. I personally disagree with that, but that's a whole other conversation we have another day. Anyway, we're out of time. We're out of time. Let's stop it there. Thank you all for tuning in today for SimWorld today. We really, really appreciate your time. As always, remember, hit the like button on the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the video, hit the notify bell, all that good stuff, and join the Discord over here. I'm sure of all the information in the just about below. And then look, remember, y'all, SimWorld is the only place where you can see the game, be the game. We'll see you tomorrow.